Yep.
My father was in World War One, and he was in the Ukraine, in Russia. And my mother had a picture made of the family, and we sent it to my father. And he has his, husband. They took a picture and inserted it in this postal card. You know, it was like a postal card.
Yeah.
In Russia.
And they put his picture in there instead?
No. They did it so many years ago. They did work like this. It's remarkable, you know.
Oh, they made a postcard.
Yeah. Someday I'll show it to you.
What did he do in the army?
He was just an ordinary soldier.
Yeah.
And then one day he got sick and tired of it. He left. Simply left. But then the war was over. And he came home, and where we lived, there was a train stop, okay? And we went into this train through every, maybe there were two way, you call it?
Cars with the train.
Yeah, and we couldn't see him. He had grown a mustache, we didn't recognize him. And then we came to the house, he said, I brought you something. And he reached in his pocket and brought out a cube of sugar. It was black. No, from
his pocket.
in his pocket. But it was, did you find something interesting for her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna just shut this behind you. Is that okay?
Oh, I appreciate it.
There.
It's so glary.
You want to shut the other one?
It must,
No, I think that's better.
you know, Lisa must have.
Yeah, but it says like, what was your mother's name? You want to know?
Maiden name, yeah.
Your
My
mother's.
mother's name? That's another thing which surprises me. My mother's name, when she was born, they called her Amelia. Emily, you would say. And she changed it to Emma. It's surprise. You know, people are people. It seems strange that she didn't like that name and could change it.
Yeah.
Isn't that strange?
Yeah. So she changed it to Emma?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
What was her maiden name?
Heimann.
Hyman.
And your father's name?
Her father's name?
Your father's name?
Mine has
First name, what was his first name?
Herman.
Herman. This is
And
silly.
I had a sister whose name was Martha. She died in Israel of typhus.
What year was that?
But I can only guess. You see, that in the village where I lived, there was maybe 1,600 inhabitants, okay? And there were maybe at the most 8 Jewish families. And the anti-Semitism was terrible, you know. That's why my parents moved to Demonstraat, where my mother comes from. And it was a very quiet place. You know, people didn't think that would ever continue. They thought after a while it will blow up, but it didn't blow up. We went there. And I was married, my sister was maybe 25 years old.
When she died?
And
Yeah.
And then she did all kinds of work. She did laundry for people. But, you know, I can tell you exactly. Max was 9 months old. And she was flabbergasted when he came to Israel. And she was doing laundry out of a pot. A little water was scarce. It still is scarce.
Yeah.
What did you do to him?
That's Michael.
My dad was 9 months old when her sister died. Yes.
So they went to Israel, and
Wait a
Not
minute.
then.
When my sister went to Israel, it wasn't just so easy to go. Let them cry. Let them cry. And she had to see if you were married or if you married somebody.
Yeah, I'm listening.
If you married somebody, he could take you along. So she married someone she had never seen before.
Oh, really?
And the minute they came to Israel, they never saw each other again. It was one of those things. You know, there's so much story in every family, but most people don't want to know.
Yeah.
What city did you grow up in Germany?
I was born it wasn't a city, you would call it. It had 1,600 inhabitants. And out of those inhabitants, there were maybe 8 Jewish families, small families.
What was it called?
The place, Wilhelmsthal.
Wilhelm.
I can spell it.
Oh.
And then it got so bad. See, like one day my sister went with a neighbor of theirs to the village, and they said, if we catch you again, they said to the Christian woman, we kill you. See, that's how much contact you could have with the outside world. See, and if you are 8 families among 1,600, you know, you're very,
No, they know you.
oh, you knew everything. No,
Yeah.
there was no way,
Yeah.
there was no way to hide.
So you had your sister and your brother.
Yeah.
And you were the youngest?
No,
The middle?
I was in the middle, yeah.
Is that picture of the family right there?
Yeah.
That's,
Now, who wants to know?
that's,
Who wants to know? Wants to know what? You want to know where the British girl is in the other picture? It's my mother.
Right. Start from the left and describe everybody going to the right.
This was my uncle Wilhelm. He had a shoe factory in Nuremberg, but he went to a certain school where you bought those hats. All right. And this was Ludwig's mother,
okay.
and that was my mother.
And what was her name?
Your aunt, right?
Yeah.
Here, we can look at her back.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. I don't have to think so hard.
Emma Meinhardt.
No, it wasn't Emma Meinhardt.
No, that's your mom. Front row.
Bella. Bertha.
Bertha.
That's where Barbara comes in.
Ah.
Since you want to know those things.
Yeah. Okay. Next to Bertha. Here, I'll tell
That
you.
was my Uncle Louis.
Yeah.
And my Uncle Louis, he was what you would call it. He liked the good things of life, okay? And he went to America. And they gave him a store, a little, I don't know what, yard goods or whatever. But he wasn't very successful. One day someone wanted a certain dog, so he went all the way to Europe to get a dog. So that's the way it was. But he was a very nice man otherwise. And this here was Jack Hyman's father.
Mm.
What was his name?
Felix Hyman.
Felix.
And it's my grandmother. This other was. Lisa said I have 2 great-grandmothers. Is this correct? Well,
It just says, it says.
no, it's
Fanny
really the
Hyman.
next generation, I think. Don't you think so? That generation back.
Fanny
What?
Hyman?
What?
It says Fanny.
Fanny Hyman?
Yeah.
This one, I
Yeah.
told you. That's where all the Fanny's coming. By me. All right. And this here was the Dandelina. See how she had her hair, just a little thing on the.
Yeah.
In all her living days, she couldn't do her hair. She had to have someone who made that thing up there. All right. Now, that was my grandfather.
Okay.
His name was Jacob. Jacob Heimann.
What did he do for a living?
They all were cattle dealers.
Cattle?
Yeah. You know, it was very limited to have a profession. Yeah, they were all talented.
Because of the
Because
anti-Semitism?
well, you couldn't call this, and it just was like this. Just like gypsies can do certain things, you just couldn't. Couldn't have a trade. Let's put it this way. Now this was my uncle Carl. He never had any children. He was the brother of this guy here. Okay. All right. This we had, and this little girl was my Hardy Bible who lives in Cincinnati. His mother. They came to America. And this here was Fanny Rouse. And you can't remember it. It goes far back. She came on Pesach.
Fanny Rao? I remember Fanny Rao.
Yeah, and it was her mother. Look, she was a pretty girl. She died very young. And
Did you say this? Her?
It's my mother.
Yeah.
Emma Meinhardt. Geborene Heimann. And I'm surprised that they took pictures like this so many
Years ago.
So many
Oh,
years
sweet.
ago. Yeah.
And when did you marry Grandpa Ludwig?
I was 26, long time ago.
That's pretty. I thought you'd be younger than 26. I don't know why. Because I thought people got married younger then.
No, I was 29 when I came to America, or 30 maybe.
So what year was that when you came to America?
I think I was 29 or 30.
Do you remember what year it was? Well, Daddy was born in 36,
Daddy was 2 years old.
so 38.
Was it difficult to get out?
Yeah. You see, Max was 2 years old, so we were married about 4 years. And when we furnished our apartment, number one, to get an apartment, it was impossible. And there was a man who lived in a city, and he owned a building in Nuremberg, so he rented it to us. Okay?
Do you remember what the rent was?
For what?
What the rent was? Like how much money?
I have no idea. I just know we went out and bought the most wonderful furniture this side of heaven. And then when we wanted to go to America, the people in America, people who had come there, oh, you cannot have those big furniture here. So we sold everything, was 2 years old, and bought smaller ones. All right. So that's how it was. And when our lift, they called it a lift, your belongings, like a big box out of wood. When it came to America, you had to go to the, what do you call it, to get into, through,
Immigration?
what?
Immigration?
Yeah, this too, through, like if you import something, you have to pay a certain tax, what do you call it?
Oh, not duty, no.
A duty tax?
Yeah, something like this. And they didn't believe that we were only married 2 years because our marriages were flawless. Okay? And the other thing, I had dishes, so they said, there's not one scratch on it. They couldn't believe it. Of course, maybe we didn't use them so shortly married,
yeah.
right? And what else was the next question?
Well, no, just how about how you came here?
Well, we were very fortunate. The Myers, they sent us the necessary papers.
And they were here.
The Myers, they were born here.
Mm-hmm.
See, their parents came from Demelsdorf.
Okay.
Demelsdorf was a village of maybe 150 people. And half of the village was Jewish, half of it was Gentile. But those people, they got along so well with each other. No problems. You know, they helped each other and so on. and I lost the thread
So the
again.
Myers sent you the papers.
Yeah, so that their parents or grandparents
Right.
came from them and stuff too.
Okay.
See, they would make trips to go to them and stuff, and I mean, it was like, yeah. And they sent us our papers, and we had no problems. We came to Chicago, and Mrs. Meyer went with us looking for an apartment, and they paid the rent for 1 year. And then my husband went to them, and he said he wants to pay the rent himself, and he made $70 a month. And Mr. Meyer said, let me see, how do you figure that out that you live? Well, he made it, he made it. I got $9 a week, and I saved money from it. But bread was 19 cents a pound or 2 pounds. It was different. And then the other thing was, there were so many refugees, people in the same situation, okay?
What were you doing when you made $9 a month?
I was doing nothing, I had a little baby.
Oh, okay.
I was doing nothing. Oh, and then I wanted to do something. I wanted to have a job. And one family, they took Max, like for the day. They loved him, but you know how, he was a cute little baby, he was 2 years old. And they loved him. And then, oh, and the bad thing was when I got pregnant again, okay? And I was by the Myers, and Mrs. Myers said, we don't need more shoes, there are enough. She was right too. But she had a daughter, the daughter was 3 years older than I, and she said, Fanny, I stand behind you. Now, if someone, in this case, they meant it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, her name was Martha, and she would take me to restaurants. She liked it to make me know America, you know what was going on.
They were Gentile?
No.
No, they were
the
Jewish.
Myers.
No, they came way back when from the same place.
How did your friends, you know, I forgot their names. You know, your friends that come from Germany,
Yeah.
didn't they help you some way to come? Or they didn't?
The friends who, oh, certainly. I told you, they paid our rent for a year.
No, not the Myers.
No.
Your friends in Germany that came to Lisa's wedding, you know, they just came to visit. I forget.
Lisa's wedding was a brother of
No.
my husband.
No.
Oh, the German ones?
Yeah.
Oh, they were very loyal.
What are their names? I forgot already.
Betty and Herman. They were very loyal. When our lift, this was like a wooden box as big as this room is big, a little small. And they came at 6 o'clock in the morning to say goodbye to us. And as a gift, she bought me a head box. See, you didn't have just one head, a head box. I mean, the most important thing in the world, you have it, you know? All right. And one day, that Betty and Minna, she was the other one, they were downtown, and the Nazis said to them, if we see you again with those shoes, we shave your hair off. But they kept coming. They came at 6 o'clock and they wanted to try to make it. And you know, of course, after that, during the war, we had no connection. But that cousin of mine who comes ever so often from Cincinnati, his name is Feigelman. He was an American soldier. And I gave him the address, and he made contact with them.
Oh.
And then we sent them package after package. Nothing exciting. 5 pounds of sugar, some raisins. See, that was all luxury.
Mm-hmm.
They said, all we have is potatoes. We are so fat from eating all those potatoes. But with other words, the friendship never died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll never see them again. They're all in the same shape I am. All right.
Grandma, did you work before you came to America? Before you had Max?
Well, I worked in my uncle's factory. It was a shoe factory. But when you married, your wife didn't work. You didn't. I mean, that was below your dignity. I want to tell you something else. We lived on the third floor, and each tenant had to clean the stairs from one floor to the other. And I was not allowed to do this. This was below my dignity. So I had to rent a woman to do that. She thinks we're absolutely, oh, you can walk. Oh, you're a big boy. Yeah.
Did you find me?
Did you look for me? Pretty soon he's walking by himself.
He took a few steps, but you want to see the picture?
It's interesting, the instinct of a cat, like to know how to hold down like this. That's how I went too for a while. Yeah, and it's interesting.
Oh.
You want to go up there?
I think he's getting tired. So,
You like your pacifier?
are you looking at the camera?
Grandma, did everybody in the picture survive? Did they all get out?
Well, my uncle, this one here, he was a little, he wanted to, they went to England. The rest of them went to England. The Myers sent an enormous amount of money to take care for all their bills. But see, you couldn't work in England. They didn't let you work. They didn't want to take a job away from
Somebody from me.
Yeah. And he had, in his youth, he was in, I don't know what the country was. It wasn't England, close by. And he had a friend, and he wanted to go to this place, and that friend didn't want him. So he was in concentration camp, and he had a Gentile wife, and she was allowed to bring him food. So she moved to a city close by. But he came out. He came out. All right. He would invite me for a potato salad and hot dogs. And he would buy a dozen hot dogs. I don't know how many I ate of it. Because they were not kosher, but they went to buy kosher hot dogs. You know, to get meat, at the time we were in Germany, you got 1 pound of meat a week. Now, you couldn't make very much matzo ball soups with 1 pound of meat. Then what they did, some people, they slaughtered chicken, what you would call black market. We once got a package of meat from Frankfurt, I think it was. It was smelling to high heaven. I can see it yet. We had a bathroom, and my mother put the meat in a pot or whatever it was, and let the water run over it to get it. They didn't throw it out. She wanted the taste out of it. That's how it is.
But Grandma, weren't some of the people in the family cattle ranchers? I mean,
Or you couldn't call them ranches. They had fields in that place where my mother was born. But
that was before. That was several years before.
this was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was everybody in the family involved in the shoe factory then?
No, only the younger generation. See, my brother, my husband.
And what about here? When you came here, wasn't there a toy? Something with toys?
When I came here.
When, Grandpa Ludwig, what did he do? Where did he
Oh
work?
my God, he worked in a hotel. He worked in a hotel, collecting the garbage, and stuff like this. And he was 30 years old, and he worked with 2 guys. So they make fun of him. They would send him to the downstairs and say, get us some it was lucky strike, strikey lux or something.
Yeah. Cigarettes?
Embarrassing,
Yeah.
you know. To them he was an old man. Maybe they were
Because he
10
didn't
years.
understand English as well.
No, but after a while he
Yeah, yeah.
they would just made fun of him.
And then,
And I was very shy. I just didn't get it. Oh, and then on Madros, you know, you have to think like we. Our lift wasn't here, so they took a rooming house for us to stay till it came. And there was an I could find it. Anyhow, and on this street was a main street. I can't think of it.
Yeah.
There was a little store in the basement. And lo and behold, he was German. So I would say I want 10 cents worth of cheese. That's how you bought it. And at the end of this was when Scheinheimer married Scheckheimer. This was her uncle. Yeah, and my mother, I was working, and my mother took care of him. And one day he walked away. Max didn't walk away completely. And that Scheinheimer, she saw him and she brought him back to my mother. And then later on, we were related to each other. We didn't know each other.
yeah.
But if you open your mouth, you know if they speak German or whatever they speak, right? Do you notice that I speak German?
Yeah, you still have an accent.
Not ashamed of it.
Grandma, when you think, do you think in German or English?
Most likely in Deutsch.
Really?
Or when I count. But I get it all.
So when you came to America, how did you move right to Chicago?
Because those people who let us come,
The Myers?
they lived in Chicago.
I wanted,
He was a lawyer. He was a lawyer at the age of 20. It was different. I mean, it was different. And you know how things come about. Jack Hyman has a daughter who's also a lawyer. When she was looking for a job, she went to this company. But she never told that she was really related to one of those people. He was dead in the meantime. Yeah, what else is true? What else you want to know?
well, after the hotel, where did Grandpa Ludwig work?
Then there was a man who was selling paper and string and stuff like this. He wanted to have a partner. So he became a partner. So they went from one place to the other to sell whatever those people wanted. Yeah. Oh,
Is that what he did then?
that's what he did.
For the,
Making $2 a day. Right?
and you stayed home with the kids?
I stayed home with, yeah. Till my mother came. My mother came a year later.
And a year after you got here?
Or maybe it was 2 years later.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's when we had Auntie Barbara.
Yeah, Barbara.
How, 4 years after Daddy? Were they 4 years apart?
Max was born in 36 and Barbara is born in 42.
Oh.
Yeah, that's 6 years.
Oh, I didn't know they were 6 years. Okay.
Did they get along when they growing up?
Like two, what is the male chicken?
The rooster?
They got along like two roosters. Barbara would say, always mix, and she would say, always Barbara. You know
Yeah.
how it is. It was very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
I don't know. So Grandpa Ludwig did that for the rest of his life? Or did he do something else?
He kept saying he wants to retire when he is so, but he never reached the age. He had to be 65. He died at 60. Yeah. That's
Gr-
it.
Who worked for a toy company didn't, maybe it was Jack Hyman. I don't know. Somebody worked for,
Jack Hyman.
okay.
They made things. You see, Jack Hyman, he worked in a shoe factory. Also people who came from Frankfurt. and he was very, very ambitious. And then there was a German man who had made links to make belts. And they took him in. They started their business in a garage behind the house we lived. Till someone said, that's not zoned for stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then they rented a place.
When did Uncle?
And he became a millionaire with this place. Yeah, but
When did Uncle Fritz come?
1 week after that,
Oh.
to Cincinnati.
Oh.
See, the people who let him came, he lived in Cincinnati, by Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And he said he knows how to cut shoes. He had it learned just for a couple of weeks. He really didn't know what he was doing. And times were very bad here. But you know, Jody, I want to tell you how fussy my brother was. He left with the only Jewish family that was in that place. And she was a terrible cook. And he made very little money. And he would eat a hot dog every day. And he would send his stockings she had darned to Chicago for me to open her work and do it right. But that's how fussy he was.
Yeah.
But as often as he sent a package, it was really cute. As often as he sent a package, he would enclose a gift for Max, a picture book for 10 cents or something. Yeah, they had a very hard time
And
there.
and then he worked
And then
when he came here.
Yeah. I tell you, he came here and he worked at, I can't say the name now, it was a shoe factory. Let's say like in downtown. And we lived on Boycott Avenue. And one day he came home with an ice cream cone. He had bought it in his neighborhood. By the time he came, I think there was only that cookie.
The cone left.
He didn't know that you can have this
Yeah.
at every corner in the world. You know, we would go for a walk. We had a dentist on Mandros. Oh, Phil, we took the bus and we walked. We didn't take any. We went to University Street. I know we had lunch, and they gave you all those little containers with a little piece or a little potato. And I thought it was the excellent one. But we had 1442 Boycott we lived. And we went to the university to eat at this place. I'm sure they had a place like this
Somewhere
on the way.
closer. Yeah.
You know,
But you walked all the way.
but that's how it was. That's how it was.
Grandma, was it always a foregone conclusion that you were going to try and come to America, or did you ever think about going to Israel or any place else?
No. You had to go when you had a chance to go. You needed. See, the person who lets you come has to take care of you for 5 years till you become a citizen.
Hmm.
So you needed.
Somebody to take you.
Yeah, but they were wonderful though. Oh, they were wonderful. We never had anything to worry. And you know they were rich people. I think it was 2440 Lakeshore Drive. They lived, and it was a duplex. And they invited us frequently on Sunday for dinner. I was always the last one to finish. That food was so good. So much they offered me, I took. Anyhow, so what they did on the second floor, there were the bedrooms, and we would mix down. And one day, why do I have to hold it?
You don't.
And one day, he walked out of the room, and he was on top of the stairs. Oh, it gives me the kiss. And he said, Shabbos, because he had candles lit for the dinner. Shabbos, oh, he
He's smart.
got their heart too.
Yeah.
Grandma, speaking of food, how do you make your spinach?
Yeah.
This I have to show you.
With
There's-
roux.
There's no recipe.
You can't tell us, huh?
No, it's a secret. If we meet someplace again,
Yeah.
at anyone's house.
Yeah,
We
you
made
show
mine.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched you once. I've watched before, but I gotta take notes
Oh,
next time or
okay.
video. When did you work at Fields?
I've worked at Fields. Well, I was at Fields when British died. I was.
Did you work there after he died too?
I kept working.
Yeah. Where did you work in Fields? What department?
In the yard goods. Does it tell you something?
In the what?
Yard goods. What does it tell me?
So I worked. Oh, I marked remnants behind
Oh, yard fabric.
paper.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then when I was done, I could work on the floor. And you see, the girls were on commission. They got a percentage of what it. And when I got a customer, I didn't get it because I was just a
Part-time.
part-time. So they hated this. There was one. Yeah, and then they said, Mrs. Adler, why do you run? Why don't you walk? Well, that's one of my bad things. I run now too.
Yeah,
They
fast.
said it at home too. What is your
What's your hurry?
What's your hurry?
I
But it-
remember. I think we went to Fields. You must have worked there when I was little still,
Oh, it could be.
because I think I remember going there and
Oh, I loved
seeing
it. I loved it. But it isn't like this anymore.
No.
Now, like the other floors, you could walk down 12 steps. They're all locked up because people just steal too much.
Yeah.
Or whatever they do
Yeah,
nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Grandma.
Well, we can continue it another time.
It was my pleasure. You have every one of me?
Every word.
I really.
What else do you want to say?
I love you.
Yeah. Something for prosperity.
In my foot,
Yeah.
she said, when did you come? Why did you come? See, people don't know why. It wasn't a matter of choice. It was,
yeah,
if you wanted to-
survival.
that's right. But we had it good. There were lots of people. People let them come, they wouldn't help them. You know, I mean, you don't know how to speak English. All you can do is wipe a floor, okay? But some people were helpful and some people were not that. That's why I said when Martha Schreger said, I stand behind you. That's a wonderful thing.
Right.
To
To say.
know.
Yeah.
They were wonderful to us.
Well, we appreciate them, or we wouldn't be here.